Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in today's tutorial, let's see how we can achieve to find the factorial of a number using recursion. So here recursion means function calling the same function within a function itself, which is recursion. In order to reduce the complexity of the problem, we are using this recursion function. So let's define a function. Okay, before defining a function, let's take a input. Okay, input for number variable num equal to input. So input is a function to take the input. Enter a number to find a factorial. Okay, since we are here inputting a number, this input function is always taking string as a input. So here we need number, right? So we need to convert this to integer using int function. Okay, now whatever we take as an input, it will be a number. So let's define a function to find the factorial using recursion. So def is a keyword with the fact recursion function. Let's pass a number as a parameter, n as a parameter. So there is a base case, like if n equal to 0 or n equal to 1, then it should return always 1. So we already know that the factorial of either 0 or 1 is always 1. Else the other case is it should return n into this particular function, that is fact recursion, into n minus 1. So here we can see the function. Within a function we are going to call the same function. Okay, so here this base case is mandatory because since if we don't mention it, means what happens, this function will loops infinitely. It will not terminate. Okay, it will infinitely execute. In order to terminate, we are using this base case. So this is mandatory in recursion function. Okay, in order to terminate the execution. So now since this function, whenever if we call, it just returns a value, it doesn't print. So we need some variable to store it and then it should be printed. So let's call this function and store it in a, whatever it returns, it should store here in the result variable. So okay, here while we are calling this particular function, we have to pass the number, right? Whatever we have taken as an input. So this one num we need to pass here. So now while we call this function, it comes here and it returns some other whatever the value is there, it will return. So it will be stored in the result variable and now we need to print it. So we get the output here. Okay, now let's see the output of 4 factorial. Yeah, it returns 24. So let's trace the output. So here, okay, here input, we are taking an input for enter a number to find the factorial. We are taking an input as 4. So 4 will be stored in the num variable and in the result we are going to call factorial number of num. So factorial recursion of 4, which calls this function. So it comes here for the definition. Here there will be 4. It checks whether 4 equal to 0 or 1. No. So it comes for the else. So 4 into factorial of 3 minus 1. Okay, it calls 3 minus 1 and 3 minus 1 means what? 4 minus 1, which is 3. 3 factorial it calls. 3 factorial means 3 into 2, right? Then 2 factorial it calls. 2 factorial means 2 into 1, right? So again it calls 1 factorial which returns 1. Finally we get 4 into 4 factorial into 3 factorial into 2 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, which means 24 as a output. So this is how the recursion function works, which means the function is called, same function is called within a function. So this is how the recursion works. Yeah, thank you.